You know the vibe, I know the vibe, we know the vibe. It's Azzy Vibes in the Cup. Today we will be reacting to the girl who killed a boy with a machete to have intercourse. Anna. I don't know. But without further ado, let's get right into it.
When it comes to me and people, I'm always in the wrong. I express myself in songs, that's why I came back to back with two separate tracks. I'm always the problem in every situation. I need to fly out and take a vacation. All this anger is built up, stress like Johnny. I'm someone that you shouldn't test. I know I'm not perfect, no one's the best. I've been close for so long, I'm not the same as the rest. Fuck it, I'm gonna be hardest.
This victim was hacked with a machete
to try to keep the discovery secret.
It's a very unusual case.
I can't even wrap my mind around it.
Take a look at this interrogation video. Does this look like an innocent person to you? Yeah, you guessed right.
No, she seems guilty.
This is AzzyCxld. In June 2015, she and her 3 friends took the life of an innocent boy in the most gruesome way you can imagine. Jose Amaya Gerardo and his family had moved to the United States to escape the violence in their home country, El Salvador. But when they arrived in Florida, they stepped into a nightmare. Jose was systematically bullied, tortured, and ended with a machete. And it doesn't end there. What the 4 teens did next to his lifeless body is unspeakable. Believe me, this case has more than one outrageous twist.
People are sick.
Today's story begins with Jose Amaya Gerardo. He was born in 1998 to parents Lucia and Santos Amaya. For the biggest part of their lives, Jose, his parents, and his 5 siblings lived in El Salvador, a tiny country in Central America. El Salvador has truly gorgeous scenery, lively towns full of color, and amazing cuisine. But the country also has a dark side. Its infamous narcotic gangs and the bloody wars that ensue between them. Unfortunately, the constant fighting and high criminality rate affected El Salvador's residents on a daily basis. Imagine having to raise your children in a town where you fear for their lives every single day. So in 2006, Santos and Lucia made a fateful decision. They would pack their bags and move to Miami, Florida. They were desperate for a peaceful life where they wouldn't have to worry about crime. This is what makes this case especially sad. The Gerardo family settled in quite well in all respects. Florida is a pretty welcoming state, but Jose wasn't the first one to explore the surroundings or make friends. He was the shyest sibling in the family, and generally, Jose was a quiet boy who often kept to himself and stayed close to his family. But this didn't mean that he didn't have passions and dreams. Like any teenager, Jose loved cars and he wanted to become an excellent mechanic. So Santos enrolled him at Homestead Job Corps Center. This was a living program for at-risk youth. Job Corps is a free education and vocational training program run by the U.S. Department of Labor that helps underprivileged youth between the age of 16 and 24 years old improve the quality of their lives by empowering them to get great jobs and become independent. At the center, Jose would not only learn mechanical skills, but various vocational skills and career 101s, such as office administration. This was a very good start in his adult life, his parents thought. They might have been right if it wasn't for a horrible group of people. So back in 2015, Jose was living at the Job Corps. During the weekdays, he was busy with his classes, and during the weekends, he would go to the local flea market and sell ice cream. Remember, they were a family of 8, so it was hard to make ends meet. But since Jose was spending all of his time on campus and very little time with his family, he started making friends at school. But it wasn't the nice kind of friends with good intentions. In fact, it was a group of infamous bullies that targeted Jose for his shyness and desire to stay out of trouble. 18-year-old Jonathan Lucas, 19-year-old Christian Colon, 18-year-old Desiree Strickland, and 20-year-old Kahim Arbello were not popular with the teachers or with the
Hold on. Alright, let's go.
other students. In fact, people steered away from them. Apparently, they all had criminal records when the Job Corps took them in, but no one told Jose's family about this when they enrolled him. Kahim, the oldest of the group, was a suspected narcotics dealer, and a pretty mean one too. And and he happened to be Jose's roommate at Job Corps. Soon enough, Kareem was harassing Jose and taking his money. Jose didn't know how to react to this. He was stuck in a completely unfair dynamic. It was 4, sometimes 5 against 1, and these were known bullies with criminal records. There was something else. The Job Corps, as gorgeous
That's really
as it
fucked
looked,
up, bro.
was surrounded by wooded areas. This meant that it was really easy to do illicit activities on campus, or at least a few feet away from it. On the afternoon of June 28, 2015, Jose asked the Job Corps for permission to head out and get some snacks. The staff knew he would usually be back in a half hour or so. So when he didn't come back by 6 p.m. that day, the staff called Jose's family. They wanted to know whether Jose had gone to see them, although it was unlike Jose to lie like that. Santos and Lucia immediately knew something was wrong. Their son wouldn't be gone for hours on end without letting someone know about it. So that evening, they went to the police and reported Jose missing. Unfortunately, the Miami-Dade police weren't particularly cooperating. They said that since Jose was 17 years old, he would have to be missing for 72 hours.
72 hours?
Imagine having to wait 3
What?
long days just because of bureaucracy, even though you know your child is in danger. So Santos, Lucia, and Jose's older brother Fredis started looking for him without the officers' help. They went to the Job Corps and spoke to its staff, but no one knew anything except that Jose had left to get a few snacks. They searched through the town center and all the shops Jose might have gone to, but no one had seen him. So 2 days after Jose's disappearance, his family started searching through the wooded areas surrounding Job Corps. That's when Fredis saw a large burned patch of grass. Then he went closer looking for clues. That's when his heart.
Bro, of course of course they're gonna put an ad. Of course they're gonna put an ad right there. You think I want to wait to know what happens? I came to this video. You know what? When I get monetized, I'm gonna start doing the same. Bro, this dog, bro. Hold on. Oh my god. Bro, it's hard having a puppy. This dog keeps ripping up. Stop it. Keep ripping up the pee pads that's supposed to be in the cage for the pee. Ripping it up, biting it, chewing it, eating it for no reason. Can't wait till she gets older. Stop. She is over there eating this shit. And then the other day, she was biting the cage and then got her jaw stuck and started screaming, bro. Like, it's hard having a puppy, bro. Let's get right back to it.
I started digging with I didn't find anything on the middle, so I started digging on the bottom part, and I see 2 foot facing down.
The feet sticking out belonged to Jose. He recognized them immediately from his socks. His parents started crying, but Fredis was just relieved that the search was over.
Yeah, I feel happy because I knew that I found him, that he was not going to be alone in there.
But when they took a closer look at Jose's body, the Gerardo family truly saw the stuff of nightmares. This wasn't just a murder. It was a gruesome machete hacking. If you saw this in a horror movie, you'd think it was far-fetched. And next to Jose's body was a pile of burnt wood that was partially covering him. The Gerardos had found Jose on their own, and now, at least they had some answers. But this didn't mean justice had been done. They had no idea what had happened and who could have done something this horrifying. Was there a serial killer around? The police had to get involved now.
The only thing is I'm wishing is that they get those person, because that's not fair for my little brother that they kill it that way.
Needless to say,
That's
this
not fair
time
at
the
all.
police
Even if he
listened
did
to
get killed,
Jose's
that-
family
even
and
if-
rushed to the crime scene.
Even if he did get killed, but not in that way, it's still unfair, because why would they kill him? Dude didn't do nothing to nobody.
The forensic team had a lot of work to do. Firstly, Jose's body was deeply decomposed and thus hard to examine. Secondly, there were several items to take note of.
Tree branches sliced in multiple locations. Police say those charged got rid of the weapon. Also, here is a place where detectives say the killers tried to cover their tracks by burning the clothes Guardado was wearing. Police say the teens also set their own clothes on fire. A green cigarette lighter also found here. But this glove was found too, and so was this sock, both providing clues.
Analyzing DNA on burnt pieces of clothing is not an easy job, nor is it a quick one. But the investigators' first step was to confirm Jose's identity and determine a cause of death. That was fairly clear. By the end,
Now she wants to pee on the pee pad instead of biting it. Now she's staring at it like it did something to her. Bro, for a dog just drinking water, the pee does really
of
stink.
the day, the police had determined
I'm
homicide
gonna
to be
go pick it
Jose's
up when I
cause of
finish this
death.
video.
But the details of the murder sent waves through the media.
Now, this is a crime so brutal, it shocked South Florida. It's hard to even discuss it. Police say this victim was hacked with a machete and made to lie in a grave in his final moments.
The full details are even more horrifying. Ana Morales, Jose's cousin, set up a GoFundMe page for Jose's funeral. In the description, she wrote exactly what had happened to Jose. He had many wounds and was still alive when buried. He was 17 years old. He could not defend himself. A crime is bad, but what Jose suffered was horrible. Imagine being in Santos and Lucia's shoes. They had moved their whole family to the United States thinking it would be safer than El Salvador. It proved to be just the opposite. There, you might fall collateral damage during a nasty shootout. But Jose's moments were much worse than that.
Every day, every night, every time I'm working, I cannot think about it. Every time I pass by there, I cannot stop looking back where I found them. I always looking back.
The Gerardo family was desperate for answers. Who had killed Jose? Why? And when were they going to get arrested? It wouldn't be long, but the answers found along the way brought anything but closure to the family. Trust me.
Have you been drinking?
No. If you're smelling something, it might be my spiked eggnog body wash.
Within a day, the police had Kahim Arbello in custody. The school knew he was a criminal and was happy to point the officers in his direction. The question was, why did they keep him at Job Corps? The rest of his crew followed: Desiree, Christian, Jonathan, and a fourth boy, Joseph Michael Cabrera. But guess what? They all shouted loud and clear that they were innocent.
All 5 of those charged have entered not guilty pleas, and their lawyers have gone to great lengths to try to keep the discovery in this particular case secret and not open to the public. Those photos we were able to show you tonight, some of the first that the court has approved to be released. Showing 2 of those charged, John Lucas and the alleged ringleader, Kahim Arabello.
Kareem and Jonathan were the first to get arrested, and the police photographed their hands too. Since they knew the horrible way that Jose had been killed, they were looking for machete or burnt wood signs on their hands. Of course, when the gang's names were made public, their families became involved too. One interesting case was with Kahim's grandma.
I can't even wrap my mind around it.
She revealed that she had raised Kahim from a very early age. His mom, who was raising him by herself, had been murdered. Indeed, Kahim's grandmother simply couldn't comprehend how a boy who suffered so much after his mom was killed could kill as well.
As a grandmother, there's no words to say about. I can't describe my feelings, just despair for us and for that family.
Well, perhaps it was exactly his mother's murder that turned him into a killer. Unfortunately, tit for tat doesn't work here. You're just taking an innocent life, and in such a gruesome way. Even though the 5 culprits were adamant they were innocent, the affidavits stated the whole ordeal pretty clearly. June 28th wasn't a random day that they went on a killing spree. They had planned Jose's murder for 2 weeks. They had buried their weapons in the woods. They had dug a shallow grave in preparation for this. They had singled out a victim, and they had
What do you
planned
get
an
out of
MO.
that?
But what was the motive? Apparently,
Literally.
Jose owed Kahim money for narcotics. That's right, this is the same Kahim that was stealing money from Jose. So on the afternoon of June 28th, the group lured Jose into the woods, right to the area they had prepared for him. There, Kahim dug out his machete and hacked at him for minutes on end, with everybody watching. Then Jose was violated, beaten, and thrown into the shallow grave. He was still alive when they buried him. And it doesn't end there. After Jose was dead, Christian, Jonathan, and Michael left, but Kahim and Desiree stayed behind. You see, they were a couple back then, and somehow this gruesome murder was a turn-on for them. So they had sex right next to Jose's body.
Bro.
Just when you thought there are no real-life monsters. Kahim was charged with first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and 4 counts of tampering with a witness or victim. While he awaited his trial, the rest of the gang was subjected to thorough investigations. Here's where it gets even more infuriating. You would think that even a person who can do what Desiree and Kahim did would show some remorse when they get caught red-handed. If you know you're going to prison, can't you at least be honest about your actions? Kahim stayed quiet and let his lawyer fight for him.
Stop.
Desiree, on the other hand,
Put it down.
no matter how much the officer tried to calm her down or get her to tell her story, she just kept yelling that she was innocent. Yeah, very convincing. No side of the story, just yells and cries. And when that didn't work, she went on to insult the police officer. Desiree had pushed him when he was walking her into the interrogation room. Now Desiree was saying he touched her. Imagine being an officer and having to deal with a person like this. When the cop wasn't taking any more insults from her, she started claiming she was going to have an asthma attack.
You're gonna sit me in a hospital until I die. You're not gonna die. I have asthma. You're not gonna die. Okay? If you don't believe in
Seem pretty fine right now.
The officer then left Desiree alone in the room for a while. This is a classic interrogation technique, to see how the suspect's behavior changes when they think they're on their own. With Desiree, her behavior was pretty darn obvious. She tried to break free by hitting her cuffs against the table. Then she tried to remove the screws from an electrical outlet so she could pick open her cuffs. Did she really think that was going to work? Also, if you're claiming you're innocent, why are you trying to escape the police station so desperately? Before the detective was back, she managed to scratch something on the police table. MPD, go to hell. Way to go, Desiree. While it might have been somewhat hilarious to watch her go crazy inside the interrogation room, this is very sad too. She planned Jose's murder, helped her boyfriend kill him, and then had intercourse right next to his body. Then she not only lied about being innocent, she took the high and mighty road, yelling at the detective and insulting the police. This demonstrates just how little remorse she has for her actions.
Now, police say that Strickland's 3 co-defendants have all confessed. They're all charged with first-degree murder. They say this homicide was triggered by a debt owed to Strickland's boyfriend.
When Desiree appeared in court, she once again had a horrible attitude, but a different kind.
Girl went before a judge this morning to face first-degree murder charges, but she appeared absolutely bored and uninterested in court.
This is disrespect to the authorities disguised as boredom. Desiree looked defiant and arrogant throughout her trials. She didn't want to look scared. She wanted to say once more, MPD, go to hell. Not only was Desiree charged with first-degree murder and tampering with a body, she was also fined $2,100 for pushing the police officer, trashing the interrogation room, and removing the screws from the electrical outlet.
Court finds probable cause, sets no bond on that one.
Eventually, all 4 boys confessed to the murder and shared really graphic details about it with the cops. The only one who refused to accept any responsibility was Desiree. Around this time, Jose's parents appeared on TV. They thanked the police for arresting the 5 suspects and urged them to give appropriate sentences. Joseph Michael's case was a little different. He had a much smaller involvement in the murder than the other 4, so the attorneys offered him a plea deal, a maximum of 10 years in prison for testifying against his friends. In a pretty strange turn of events, Joseph Michael refused the plea deal and said he wanted to go down with the rest of the crew. Why would he want to have to spend the rest of his life in jail?
I guess he didn't want to snitch.
Afraid of Kahim, who the gang claimed was their ringleader?
fifth suspect was arrested in St. Louis, Missouri. He will soon be brought over to Miami. Now, at this time, it's unclear what his alleged involvement was in the crime, and that's because most of the suspects have sealed arrest warrants.
And in Christian Colin's case, his defense team argued for insanity.
We believe that Mr. Colon is suffering from psychosis, and we believe that he is not competent at this time to stand trial.
Indeed, Christian didn't seem well in either of the videos he appeared in. He's very slouched and fidgety, and never looks straight at the people who are talking to him. His lawyer also said he never really slept.
That he doesn't get sleep, no more than 3 hours, I believe he said, because of the voices.
Apparently, this is all because he'd been abusing for years.
At a couple points during the interview, he would say things like shut up or stop talking, as though they were happening during the interview.
The judge didn't show any mercy for him, though. She concluded he was perfectly capable to stand trial.
As he should, bro. There's no way. There's no way, bro. That's really messed up, bro. The fact that you did all that and then you went and had intercourse right next to his dead body, you have no respect.
Like Jose's case could finally be closed, but it wasn't going to be that easy. Their trials would be time-consuming and emotionally draining for Jose's grieving family. Fredis was the only one who seemed to keep his head up. He was just happy to have the 5 attackers behind bars.
I feel happy because we wanted that they have to arrest everybody because we don't want no those criminals to stay on the street.
Meanwhile, the Homestead Job Corps Center closed its doors indefinitely. This is what they wrote on their website.
This pause in operations will provide additional time for Job Corps to complete its review of safety and security at the Homestead Center and to consider actions to further strengthen oversight and accountability of Job Corps contractors.
Well, yeah. Letting Kahim and his gang do as they pleased was a pretty big oversight. Jose's family actually hired a lawyer to file a lawsuit against the Homestead Center Job Corps. One of their biggest mistakes was not being transparent and having students enrolled with criminal records. Freshman students should be aware of this before they enroll. Today, Kahim Arbello is the only one facing the death penalty for Jose's murder.
Students accused of hacking another teen with a machete and burying his body in a shallow grave. Today, we're learning the state of Florida will not pursue the death penalty for 4 of the 5 defendants.
As of 2022, the trials are still not fully over. In May 2022, Desiree Strickland made the headline again after being offered a plea deal. Her attorney offered her 15 years in prison if she pleaded guilty to conspiracy to murder. Still, Desiree wasn't pleased. It's pretty incredible that she thinks 15 years in jail is still too much time for what she did. Does she really think she's innocent? Since 2015, another horrible detail about her came up. Apparently, after the group lured Jose into the woods, Desiree went away to pee, and when she came back, she complained that she missed the few machete blows. If that's not evil, I don't know what is. Then, in September 2022, it was announced that Desiree did take a plea deal.
Inside, Desiree Strickland raised her right hand in an orange jumpsuit and pled guilty to conspiracy to murder.
Desiree received a sentence of 15 years in prison, but the 7 years she already served will be counted too, so she might be out as early as 2030. Her lawyer said,
"They're all very young, immature. It's a very unusual case. The evidence is questionable."
Yeah. She had sex next to Jose's dead body, and she complained about missing part of the attack. I think that's pretty involved. In 2020, Jonathan Lucas pled guilty to conspiracy to commit murder and was sentenced to 5 years in prison
Spider-Man
and
cut.
15 years probation. Joseph Michael Cabrera pled guilty to the same charge and received a slightly smaller sentence. But Christian Colin and Kahim Arbello are still awaiting trial. It's pretty incredible that 7 years have passed since Jose's brutal murder, and justice still hasn't been done for them. Hopefully Jose's family are slowly learning to move on with their lives and focus on their other children, and hopefully Kahim and Desiree will get the right sentences. Thanks for watching, you guys. What do you think about this case? What sentences should Kahim and Christian receive? Did the others receive the right sentences? Let me know down in the comment section, and while you're at it, why not give this video a thumbs up and subscribe?
Yeah, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Bro, no. the whole crew deserve to get the same amount of time. They also deserve to get death penalties. No way you went and killed an innocent boy because of he owes you money for narcotics. Bro, if he owes you money for narcotics, why are you robbing him? If you're robbing him, wouldn't you bullied him and robbed him basically like every day? So wouldn't you have enough money by then? Whatever. So you went and you killed him. That shit don't add up. That shit don't add up. And I bet you if Jose was still here today and they had two sides of the story, this shit's gonna be separate. I don't believe you. Don't believe it. And you thought just because nigga owes you money, oh yeah, go kill the nigga or whatever. Go kill him. And then tell the cops this story. Oh yeah, he owed me money. Blah blah blah. That's why I killed him. You need to cuss him and be like, oh, all right, I understand. Here's 2 years. No. But like I said, that shit. The world is just. That shit. The world is just disgusting place. I don't know. But this video pissed me off a little bit. But this and like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, share the video. Tell me what you want to see next in the comment section and on my Twitter. That's gonna be in the description. And let me go deal with this dog. So we out.